Hey guys, Azerlyn here with a quick review of Outlast 2. Outlast 2 is an intense first-person survival horror and psychological horror game. You and your wife are investigative journalists. You venture deep into the desert in an attempt to uncover the truth behind the unusual murder of a pregnant woman. Upon your arrival, you find yourself in the company of religious fanatics who perform gruesome and unspeakable acts in the name of their faith. The story is very intriguing, but I admit that I was pretty confused by it, and I found it difficult to understand what exactly was going on. Many of the game's events and the story itself are so fucked up. There are bits of the story that the player is expected to fill in, and there are things left open to interpretation. There are some references made to the first Outlast and the Whistleblower DLC that you need to know for Outlast 2 to make a bit more sense, so I do recommend playing those prior to Outlast 2. Armed only with your camera, you are completely vulnerable to enemies. I find this style of horror game much more nerve-wracking than other games where you have a way to fight back. You'll need to make use of the terrain, sneak around, and hide from hostiles. If you get discovered, you better run for your life. The chases are insanely terrifying and will certainly get your heart racing. The jump scares are plentiful and often successful, but there will be times when you're expecting them. Collecting notes and recording events plays a large role in understanding the story. Expect to use your camera a lot. Fortunately, you can keep the camera out without draining the batteries. However, using the camera's night vision or microphone will drain them, so you'll need to scavenge for batteries along your journey. The night vision is absolutely necessary to navigate through the dark areas, and the microphone is extremely helpful for other areas where your vision is obstructed, like the cornfields. My only complaint about the camera is the recording system that it uses. It is really annoying. The time to record is way too long, and the small snippet of video that you actually get from it is a lot shorter. Not to mention the fact that you have to be aiming at a specific area, and there were times where I had no idea what I was actually looking at while I was recording. I would have preferred that the commentary from these recordings actually played while making the video. Another issue that I encountered a few times during my playthrough was with enemies chasing me, but then just standing outside of where I was hiding without pulling me out of my hiding spot or dropping aggro. It seemed like it was a bug and I was forced to just run out into the enemy and hope for the best. I died more in Outlast 2 than in its predecessor, but it was usually because I was unaware of where to go while I was being chased. It is possible to be one-shotted, but that only happened to me a couple times. It usually takes 2 hits to die, and there are bandages around to heal yourself up after being injured. When I did die, I was sometimes respawned with enemies already aggroed on me, and that was also annoying. Outlast 2 has a suspenseful atmosphere that is absolutely fantastic, and it does an impeccable job at delivering an extremely immersive horror experience that had me feeling scared, anxious, and at the edge of my seat on a regular basis. The voice acting is fine, but the music and the ambience is where the game really shines. The environments are often dark, eerie, and quite grotesque with dismembered corpses and blood everywhere. The performance was solid throughout my playthrough, but I wish the game had a windowed borderless mode. Alt-tabbing was quite slow, and using Alt-Enter actually broke my game and required me to force quit it a couple times to fix it. The controls are fully customizable and there is full controller support. The game took me about 6 hours to finish, but it would have been closer to 6.5 if I had read all the documents while streaming my playthrough instead of just doing it afterwards. It's not a super long game, but the length felt just right. Ultimately, Outlast 2 is not for the faint of heart. I quite enjoyed the survival horror aspect that had me feeling scared and anxious, but I wish the story had been more clear-cut like the first game was. I had a lot of fun playing Outlast 2, but I still think that Outlast and the Whistleblower DLC were better and more polished. If you want to watch my entire playthrough of the game, I'll post a link in the description below. I hope my review has helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and post your feedback in the comments below. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful day.